Hey, good morning to those of you out there on the West Coast. Good afternoon to those of you here on the East Coast with me. It's a beautiful day out there. I'm always excited when the day is beautiful. It is a little hot around here in the East Coast where I'm at, but I'll take that over really, really bad storms, right? I'm excited to see you engaging in chat. I appreciate you doing that. Do me a favor, just so we can engage with each other, because this isn't just a training, it's a networking event. Every single one of my events is designed to help you meet other people. I have 150 people, I think, who registered for today's event, and I literally just told you all about it yesterday, right? And so 150 people who are in here that you potentially can network with. And it's really important that you understand how networking works. So first off, I just want you to put into the chat, if you're open to connecting with others on LinkedIn, put I'm open to connecting into the chat. Let other people know that you're open to connecting. But the thing about, let me just turn off that little caption there. The thing about networking, it's really important to remember, you don't need to network with somebody who's just like you. Like, hey, I'm cybersecurity, I'm going after cybersecurity. Or, hey, I'm really advanced and I need somebody else who's really advanced. That's strategic partnering. Networking is really having thousands of people in your surrounding area. You don't know a ton about them. You know kind of enough about them, but you can reach out and say, oh, we're all in the same community. And so you want to reach out, let other people know you're open to connecting, because sometimes you might be a construction company who chooses to connect with a cyber company, and you're both actually going after, Fort Lewis, Washington, for example, an Army base. Well, they need cyber and they need construction or something. And so you might both know people on base that could help you both succeed. That's how networking works. That's totally different, right, than more advanced relationships and strategic partnerships. Networking is the very beginning thing. Think about it as like your church or your neighborhood. Everybody in your neighborhood is in your network. Whether you talk to them or not, the fact that they're on the same block makes them in your network. You can walk over and say, hey, John, I live across the street. Oh, okay, I never met you before, but good to meet you, right? And so anyways, let people know you're open to connecting, and you'll get a lot more value out of this than just my training. Okay, so let's get rocking and rolling. I've got 28 minutes left. I'm doing pretty good. And today we're going to be talking about pursuing RFIs in 15 minutes a day. And what I meant by 15 minutes a day, and the reason I chose that title is RFI, a lot of different tasks should be done on a regular basis every single day. That's how you take a task and turn it into a habit. And RFIs are kind of that same way. I want you to think about RFIs 15 minutes every morning. You look at it, you prepare, and you move on, right? And you'll never miss anything really if you're doing it 15 minutes a day. And I'll wrap up today's training with some tactical tips on how you can do that. But the reason I like RFIs is because RFIs in the formal acquisition side of the life cycle, it's the earliest stage when you can engage with federal buyers, right? It's when the RFI and the sources sought notice, another way of calling it, this is when the government is reaching out saying, hey, we'd like to talk about our requirements, see what you in the industry think, what recommendations or where it's going. Or they're looking out saying, hey, we're thinking of acquiring the services this way. What feedback do you have for us? Or would there be enough small businesses who could support this, et cetera? And so I really like the idea that RFIs are the beginning of that acquisition lifecycle, the formal part of it, if you will. And if you can get in there, you've got a leg up, right? I don't want you to waste RFIs. I want you to write RFIs to win. Today's training is not necessarily about that, but keep in mind, when you respond to RFIs, you don't want to just casually throw a response over the wall. You don't want to just shoot some automated thing that you've just cut and pasted from previous responses. You want to try to win each time. I'm literally doing that today with one of my customers who's got one due tomorrow. And we're talking about writing an RFI response. I mean, we're almost done writing it, but this idea of writing a response that really just opens up the customer's mind. It gives them a compelling argument to do something our way. And an example is this is around administrative and professional services, about $10 million, I think, a year. We'll figure out what it's really going to be. But the idea is we're going in there with this differentiator. We're trying to change it up in the RFI, not waiting for the RFP to wow them, but in the RFI, wowing them by saying, hey, I know you're thinking this way, and I know our competitors are going to come in this way, but we recommend you do it this way, and here's why. Well, you can do that inside of an RFI when you write to win, not write to respond. Another reason I really love the RFIs, and I think I want to encourage you to be doing this daily, is because your competitors just won't do it. People won't do stuff that's very fundamental tasks. We tend to want to go do the most spectacular thing that's out there rather than just do the basics really, really well. And responding to the contracting officer or the federal buyer when they put a sources sought notice or an RFI out there, responding to them is one of the most basic tasks we can do. It's actually kind of one of the easiest things we do if we're writing to what we're selling, what we're good at, right? It's not that hard to write that, but most of our competition won't do it. And so you'll have, it's funny, I wrote a message out to let people know about today's event. I said, hey, you'll have an unfair advantage. Well, I don't mean unfair. It's like you'll just have an advantage over them. It's not unfair. It's totally fair advantage, but you'll have an advantage over your competitors when you respond. And when you do respond to federal buyers, you're going to open up doors. You'll open up doors to the program office, to the contracting officer, who will be thankful that you sent it in, even if they're sometimes incognito or incommunicado. Sometimes don't respond, right? That doesn't mean they're not thankful that you wrote a response, because when they put something out, they're expecting people to come back. And sometimes they get like less than 5 responses. So you will be memorable to them, and it'll open the door and it'll give you that advantage through the agency, not just on the opportunity, but perhaps building a relationship that's bigger. And so that's why we're going to be talking about RFIs in a daily action plan. I want you to have a plan where every day you're spending 15 minutes on RFIs so that all this other stuff going on in your day, you still got traction. Do me a favor, by the way, if you're getting here a little late, let us know if you're open to connecting, right? I definitely want you to tell us about who you are, et cetera. I see happy Monday there from Cape Cod, Hillary. Good to see you again. I love how I say good to see you and I can't see you, but you know what I'm saying. But tell us if you're open to connecting, because this is a networking event for you as well as training. I'm going to cover 3 things in today's training. If you haven't figured it out, I move at a fire hose pace. I like doing that because I can get a lot of information as I stop my day, come hang out with you, and then I go back to my day. I got a lot to share with you, and I want to make sure I share it. But the first thing is, I just want to talk about how you can give you a little tips around how you can find RFIs to win. And this, really basic steps on what to do, especially in preparation of your search. Second thing I want to do is talk to you about setting up a daily search habit. I'm going to go into SAM as an example and show you how to do this, how I do it, right? I have a lot of experience and I do exactly what I'm teaching you, right? And I'm always learning. I'm constantly going, what else could I do? How can I listen to other experts and see what they're doing, right? And bringing this back to you. And the third thing I'm going to talk about is I'm going to end up leaving you some tips on a daily process that you can follow. And the way I talk about it is how you can get on contracting officers' radar, right? This is really important to me, is that you're not just trying to respond, you're trying to get on the radar of a contracting officer so you're memorable to them. That way, when this opportunity starts moving forward or other opportunities come along, you're on a short list. You're on a list of these guys respond, I automatically like them. So if this is what you're looking for today's training, throw RFI rocks in the chat. RFIs rock in the chat. Let's have some excitement in today's training. If you don't know who I am, my name is Neil McDonald. I'm the president of the GovCon Chamber of Commerce, and I want to welcome you to my federal sales training, where I provide tips for success in the federal market. I spent 20 years in the federal market after I got out of the Army as a small business owner, doing exactly what you're doing, right? And since 2018, I've been teaching people like you that government contracting is not a secret. It's just a process. When we follow a process A to Z, we have repeatable, predictable results. This is what I want for you. It's what you can have in your RFIs, repeatable results, predictable results out of your RFI efforts. If you're not connected, like I've been saying in the chat, tell me if you're open to connecting with others. Most of you are, but if you're not following me on LinkedIn, do so. I put out a ton of content that's designed to be very useful to you in your success. If you haven't subscribed already, join 25,000 plus people who are subscribed to my LinkedIn newsletter. It's the largest newsletter on government contracting topics, bigger than DOD's newsletter, right? And I want you to be part of that because I share tips out there that'll be very valuable to you. Last thing I just want to remind you is tomorrow's training. I get training all week. So if you don't know this, except for a little bit of time I took off to go build a stealth product, I'm here every day at noon, weekdays. And tomorrow's training is going to be 8 steps for success. And this one's really important to me because it's aligning the capture activity you do when you find an opportunity. Some 8 steps that you can really do to pursue that opportunity. Go register for that training and join us tomorrow live. Okay, so this is thirsty work. By the way, really quick question. Do you like the slides on this side or the other side? I know it's a really simple thing, but it turns out I can put the slides on the left or right and me on the left or right. Let me know if you've got an opinion. You don't all have to have an opinion, but like if anybody's got some thoughts on that, I'd love to hear it. All right, so let's get started talking about how to find RFIs your company can win. You don't need to find all the most importantly, you don't need to respond to all the RFIs. Don't do that. It doesn't increase your chances of success. It actually decreases your chances of success when you're going after opportunities that really aren't aligned for you, because it means you're not working harder on the ones that are aligned for you. The first thing you need to do if you're going to start pursuing RFIs or any kind of opportunities within the federal government is to have a clear, focused offer. This doesn't have to be a magical term, clear, focused offer. It really is just, what do we sell? What do we really sell? Right? And I want you to lock down what you sell with clear criteria. My last company was a Microsoft SharePoint company. We did SharePoint services. So we didn't do everything Microsoft. We did Microsoft SharePoint. We didn't do software development or information technology. We did Microsoft SharePoint. And we got known that way. And it became very easy for us to look for where SharePoint was being done. How do we get in the door? When we talked about it, et cetera. And so RFIs, it's the same way. If I lock down what my criteria is for what I sell, like when I see an opportunity, sources saw it, RFI or whatever from the government, I can look and go, oh yeah, that aligns with us. I have this rule in sales pipelines that say, if anybody in the company has to rationalize why this is a good fit for the company, it is not a slam dunk. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a no bid, it's a dead deal, but it sure means it's not a slam dunk. Slam dunk opportunities, your clear, focused offer, they don't have to be rationalized. Everybody who's in your world looks at it and goes, oh my God, that's us, right? And so it's really important that you lock that down. In the chat, do me a favor, just tell me in 3 words, 2-3 words, what do you sell, right? We sell this, this, and this. I think I use this example a lot. This is how good it is. Chris Moffitt, right? If you haven't connected with her, connect with her. She's in our community. I don't know if she's here today, but she sells all things training, right? Nina Martin, if she's in here today, right? She sells American Sign Language services. What do you sell? Put 2, 3, 4 words. Don't write a lot. Put a little bit of words so people know as well. This is a great chance for other people to learn about it. Okay, so when you're looking for RFIs, where can you find these, right? Part of the how is what I'm going to show you, but part of the how is where. So of course we could go to SAM. SAM is a great place to go. It's where almost every, KO or small business professional or whoever will tell us, oh, you got to watch SAM, go to SAM. Yes, SAM is awesome. It's great, but it's only a fraction of the opportunities that are out there and the RFIs that are dropping, et cetera. You also need to look at the contracting vehicles federal agencies use, and agencies use different ones. And you just need to learn that as you get in, you have conversations. This is part of your discovery. You'll find out what contract vehicles they have. We use GSA, for example, Mass. And so you would want to get on eBuy. If you're not a contract holder, right, on eBuy, or if the Navy uses Seaport Next Gen a lot for IT and professional services, engineering services, things. If you're not on those vehicles, that's totally cool. Go find somebody who is on those vehicles. And it's not that hard to go to the web and find a list of all the winners. Go to FPDS and you can find a lot of the winners, right? You can find this information. And when you do, you can build a relationship with those prime contract holders of vehicles that you want to work with or, track RFIs on. And you'll be able to hear about it. So an example is if I wanted to get on Seaport Next Gen, it's really easy. They add me into the portal and now I can look at the portal. Same thing with GSA. They add me into the eBuy world and now I can go into those portals every day. And what I'm about to show you in 15 minutes is the same thing. But anyways, if I team up with a company that's on Seaport Next Gen as a subcontractor, I can't go after it. But as a subcontractor, now that I've got access to the data, I can see what's coming out on Seaport Next Gen because I teamed up with company ABC here who's on it, and they were nice enough to give me access to the data. Then I can go back to them and say, hey, John, I found this opportunity. I'd love to go after it. You know, we can do 20% or 50%. You know, would you like to go after it? I'm building a relationship with those companies. But you can find these RFIs, the sources sought, dropping constantly. You just got to find out where they're dropping. That's a whole separate training, right? But when you do that, you're able to find RFIs on a regular basis, at least every week. You should be able to see an RFI that's in your swim lane. It might be a slam dunk total task area alignment to your company, or it might be 10 task areas and 2 are slam dunks for you. Well, go find that teaming partner you're working with, and you can go after it together. Okay, so that's just a very quick overview of how to find RFIs. The big takeaway is, remember, I want you to have what you sell really clear, your clear, focused offer. It needs to be so good that I can do what I did with Chris Moffitt, where I'm like, oh, like I'm looking right here. I sell construction services. Is it Benita or Danita? I got bad eyes. I can't really see it, but construction services. I would challenge you to bring it down, niche down. What do you sell? Is it flooring? Is it painting? Is it elevator services? Construction is too big. Bring it down. And I was just picking on her a little bit, but try to niche down. If you become niche down, it makes it easier for us to understand who you are or remember who you are. Okay. In this slide, I want to talk to you about setting up your daily habit, 15 minutes a day, right? The first time it might take you 2 hours. Let's say 2, 3, 4 hours. Who cares? The first time it takes you a little time to get your the rhythm in place. But the second day and beyond, you can do this in 15 minutes a day. And basically what you're doing is committing 15 minutes a day to looking for RFIs. This is not about responding to RFIs. This is not even actually about going deep dive into an RFI. So if I see an RFI come out and it's got a 20-page performance work statement or the scope of work, that's separate from my 15 minutes. I find it, I'm like, oh, I think that looks good. And I set it aside, and then I'll come give it the time it deserves, 30 minutes or more, to review the requirements in detail to say, I thought it looks good. Now I'm verifying it. That's part of my qualifying process. But I want to commit these 15 minutes first thing in the morning, because this is one of the most important things you can be doing. It's a strategy task to be able to spend 15 minutes looking for new RFIs that your company can respond to. Strategy, or anything strategic, if you put it in your day and say, I'm going to get to it today, it'll go away and it'll go to tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow, because there's always going to be other stuff that's urgent. It could be urgent and it's important, but it pushes it out. So you've got to, I don't know if you've ever heard that term, pay yourself first, right? The first thing you do is put $5 aside in your bank account, then you pay everybody else. You got to pay yourself first. If you think about the airplanes, put your own oxygen mask on first and then your kids, right? And this, when you do that, you're strengthening yourself. In the airplane case, I'm taking care of myself. Now I can fully take care of my kids. In RFIs, if I look strategically for RFIs for 15 minutes, then I can go about my busy day, reacting to the customer, et cetera. But you got to commit to it. This is something I really encourage you to do is RFIs, once you got the 15-minute task locked down, put that as the very first thing you do. Don't look at emails. Don't respond to urgent requests from the customer. If it was urgent now, it'll be urgent in 15 minutes. Take care of yourself first. And you can do this by establishing saved searches, which I think I'm going to show you right now. By the way, here's something I teach, which I find very valuable. I want you, when you're looking for RFIs, to look at all of them. I want you to browse, not search for RFIs. And the reason I say this is because I'm going in, and of course I'm looking for RFIs that look like they should be in our pipeline and I should pursue. But if I'm looking at all of them, I might see something for some of these other people. I know Crystal Richards, I'm looking at her, right? Project management, anything I see, that's not my world, mine is SharePoint. And I see hers, I go, oh, maybe Crystal will like this. And because I did this, I'm strengthening my relationship with her. And then she's off somewhere. She's like, oh, you know what? Talk to the SharePoint guy. Neil's the SharePoint guy, right? That's networking. And so when you only search like a keyword for an RFI, you're basically kind of saying, I don't care about any of my network. I just care about me. Gimme, right? But if you actually tighten it up and say, I'm going to look at everything coming through, not only is it very efficient, you can still manage your time effectively, but you'll be able to build relationships with so many people that are out there. Okay, so let me switch over really quick And I want to walk you through, some of you, this is really familiar. Hopefully, oh, don't tell me it's timed out. You better not have timed out. It's GSA or Sam. It's like, come on, quit logging out so fast. I can't do a full training. I got 10 minutes left, but I want to just quickly show you what I mean by setting up 15 minutes a day where I look at it. So if you haven't come into Sam before, this is where you come in and you can watch the replay on this. I'm going to hit contracting and say, all right, I want to search on contracting. The notice types I'm looking for are right here, and it's called sources sought. I don't know if you can see that on your screen, but you want to do a notice type sources sought. That's what I'm searching for. 3,700 sources sought that are right there. That's not everything we want. And then I want to come down and I'm looking right here for dates. And the thing I'm looking for is response dates. I can do it either way. The part I'm teaching you today is updated in the past day. So if I do this every single day and I say, show me what was updated in the last day, there's 37. Now I'm rushed in training and I can still do 37. So in the last 24 hours, what it is saying to me is that there's 37. And for the fun of it, I might actually say 2 days. That way I don't ever miss one that's staggering or something. But watch how easy it is to just scroll down, right? I'm able to look. And I'm not going to talk to you about the titles, but you can do this yourself, right? As I'm coming down, I'm looking at ships. I'm looking at a lot of this product type stuff, test and balance. I don't deal with a lot of people or interact with a lot of people who do the product side of the house, right? So I tend to see things a little bit, my eyes tend to look for more service-based type stuff. So I'm just coming down here. I'm looking, coming down, actionable. Not much has changed. And then I move on to page 2. This is 25, and I think there was 37, right? So if I come in here, so right here, Joint Training Support Program Services. I don't know what that is. I opened it. I'm coming down here, support equipment. So this past day, a lot of it was there. Sources sought, visual information support services. So this is perfect. Let me stop sharing and come back. That's a perfect place for me to pause 1 second. In training or in our group right now is Patrick Rafferty. Patrick, do a shout out. But this is what I mean by browsing everybody. If I had looked at that opportunity that is saying sources sought for visual information support services, Patrick's there. I don't know if it's a fit for him, but I know that he does visual information support, right? He, the video side, et cetera. I know I've actually worked with him on PAO stuff for Air Force and made an introduction. And so this is what I mean. I know Barry, who's in our community, does furniture. I might, for him, I might not say as much because there's so much furniture in here. But for Patrick, these one-offs are really good ways for me to reach back. And I'm not wanting anything when I get back to them, get back to them on it. So let me show you one other thing in here that you should do immediately. Like you should do this today is go in and put that search criteria I have. If you look here, I'm looking at a search criteria that is just, it was updated in the past day and it's sources sought. That's all I'm looking for my 15 minutes of RFI. And you can see my search today would have been 5 minutes or less type thing. So it's not even that much. Here, I'm going to, it's funny, I always miss my, I'm going to save this search right here. And I'm just going to put daily RFIs, right? Daily RFIs, I hit save. And so now I have a saved search. If I go back to home for 1 second, I come back here to search. All you have to do is come in here and I've got saved searches right over on the right-hand side. And right here, it says daily RFIs. I click it, and I can see what's there. So imagine if you came in first thing in the morning and that's what you did is before you did anything else, you opened up a computer, went to Sam, said save searches. In fact, you probably just take that URL and have it on your desktop and you just click it. By doing that, you're able to sit there and see these opportunities and browse those RFIs. Okay, a couple of seconds left. Oh, hey, really quickly, I just want to thank our sponsors. Graham, I talked about Graham doing American Sign Language Services and staff augmentation. KZO, come join me and Kate. Kate does all things pricing and compliance is how I'm saying it at the moment, but really making sure that you're landing that contract and then starting it off really well. Come meet Kate. She's doing a live with me on Wednesday. I'm really excited about that. Proposal GPT, they're a sponsor of ours, of the conference and in here on the live, and I really appreciate their support. You can actually watch a video we did a couple of weeks ago, and it was really good. People asked for a lot more. And then GovCon in a Box, go check out your score and find opportunities over there. Okay, so let's talk about, really quickly, because I'm running out of time, it's how to get in or get on contract officers' radar. And then I'll do a whole nother training on this again. I've done 100 of them before. But one of the things to keep in mind is that RFIs are this invitation to talk, source of thought, invitation to talk. Sometimes you'll see them say, don't reach out to us. Don't listen to them. Like, that's their problem. It's not my problem. As a sales guy, my boss is not going to allow me to go, yeah, the customer said don't call, don't reach out. I'm like, well, I'm going to get creative with my reach out, right? I'm not going to sit there and offend them. I am going to be professional and friendly, but I'm not going to let something written inside of an RFI that says questions will not be asked or something. I'm like, that's cool. I'm not asking you a question. I just want to pose a hypothesis or something. You know, you've got to figure out that if you're trying to get millions of dollars from the government, don't let somebody be a gatekeeper to you. But make sure you're tactful and tactical. And I'll talk about tactical really quick. An example of how I get on the radar right away, and this is a tip you can borrow from me, is when I see an RFI I like that I'm like, oh, I'm going to respond to this. I respond right away to the contracting officer. Hey, thanks a lot for putting this out. I just want to give you a heads up. We are definitely going to respond. And then boom, I'm gone. I don't ask for anything. I don't do anything. I'm on their radar, right? They're like, oh, that's cool. I might get a reply back. I might not. If they reply back, I feel like I've got a little wiggle room. The second thing is I follow up every email with a phone call. So if they don't respond back the next day, I just want to give you a heads up. I know you're tracking this stuff for your own reasons. I just want to let you know we're definitely responding in case you need to write that down to track on it, right? I'm trying to participate in the market research process, but I'm also trying to get on your radar. The third thing is, and this is a few days later, but before it's due, I love asking really minor questions. So I say not Q&A here. And what I mean by Q&A is there's a formal process where they say, hey, submit them all back. We're going to answer them all. That's not what I mean. I like finding mistakes, frankly, you know, like discrepancies. I go, hey, I'm sorry. I noticed it said this here and this here. Is that a mistake? I mean, I know it's a mistake, right? Like the NAICS code is said differently in two different places. That happens when they cut and paste. So I try to find a minor question in there. You know what's funny? I've tried to have ChatGPT do this for me. It still can't figure it out. I go in with my eyes and I look at that. That's what I would encourage you. If you want to win millions, take the time to read their documents. And the last thing is follow up your post response. So when you submit RFIs, don't accept just them stopping you. First thing is ask for confirmation that they got it, and then follow up with the voicemail until you got the confirmation. Once you have the confirmation, stay on their radar. One tip I have for you is follow up with a post-response piece of content that's valuable. An example is I was talking about this customer I'm helping doing responding to an RFI. Anyways, there's an AI product that they're building internally that I think would totally align to this RFI, but it's not quite ready before the RFI goes. Well, they could do a mini case study, send it after the fact, say, hey, this aligns totally with what the program office was looking for. I'd love it if you just forward this on, right? And you're trying to keep that relationship up. Don't write a whole bunch of RFIs, put them in your pipeline, and then don't do anything with them. You've got to kind of have traction by staying on the contracting officer or even the program office radar. All right, here's what I want you to remember from today's training. First off, if you're open to connecting with people, let them know if you're coming in a little bit late because this is a great chance for you to connect. But remember these three things. Schedule or commit to yourself 15 minutes every single morning. I'm going to do RFI research every single morning. Second thing is commit to browsing, right? Don't get sucked into searching. I'm going to search for SharePoint opportunities because you'll miss out on things that might be mislabeled for you, and you'll miss out on the chance to help people in your network. Third thing is get access to contract vehicles. SAM is awesome, but so is GSA, so is Oasis or Seaport Next Gen or any of the other hundreds of thousands of contract vehicles out there. So find the ones that your potential buyers are using or the federal government is using to buy what you sell and try to get on them with a teammate and get access to the data so you can track on it. Hey, I'm going to be a little cryptic for a second. I'm launching a new product at the end of this week. If you're interested in helping me be a test user, an early user, I'll give you 90% off for life of what we're about to roll out. but just put beta in the chat. I'm looking for people who are actually trying to build relationships, because that's what this product is going to be about. And I know it's really cryptic. I'm only looking for 10 people. So out of 100 plus people who are on the call, I think I'll find my 10. But for all of us, as you move forward, thinking about RFIs, thinking about your day, just remember, government contracting, it is not a secret. It's just a process. Part of the process is ending on time. It's 12:30. I'm out of here. Have a great day.